Right, this is how to write an awesome paragraph and all the sentence structures you need to know how to do it. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to name and identify different types of sentences, list the basic parts of a paragraph, list and explain the traits of a well-composed paragraph, and write a well-composed paragraph. Your keywords for this lesson are sentence types, simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. Paragraph elements with the topic sentence, details and development, and the conclusion transition. The traits of a well-composed paragraph: clarity, vivid, precise language, and sentence fluency and variety. To begin with, there are 4 different types of sentences, and the sentence types are based on how the sentence is constructed. Your first is the simple sentence. This is one independent clause, otherwise known as a sentence. It's basic, like the dog ran down the street. The second is the compound sentence, 2 or more sentences joined together in an appropriate fashion, like the dog ran down the street and the children chased after it. Then we have the complex sentence. This is one independent clause plus one subordinate clause. In other words, a sentence and a clause that has a subject and a verb, but it's not enough to be a sentence all on its own. Because the dog was very fast, so we have dog as a subject and was as a verb, but because the dog was very fast is not a complete idea, so it's not a sentence. Because the dog was very fast, the boys couldn't catch up with it. There's a complex sentence. And we also have the compound complex sentence, which would be 2 independent clauses with a subordinate clause. As they were running, one of the boys remembered a shortcut, so they cut the dog off at the pass. We start with that subordinate clause, then we had one sentence and the next sentence, and that gives us a compound complex sentence. So take some time to identify the sentence types of the following sentences. Your options are simple, compound, complex, or compound complex. The state repaved the highways last year. I downloaded a song for my sister, but she already had it. Sharon and Kayla met at summer camp. As soon as I got home, I took a shower. Because of his talent, Sam joined the hockey team, and he became the star player. Now we need to know about paragraph elements. Paragraphs have 3 basic parts. The first is a topic sentence. This is the first sentence, and it has to tell the reader exactly what the paragraph is about, hence the name, topic sentence. It names the topic of the paragraph. Because we are being good writers in the 8th grade, we are not going to say this paragraph is about. Instead, we're going to give a more direct topic paragraph or sentence, like writing good paragraph starts with knowing your sentences. The next component is your details and your development. This is the bulk of the paragraph, like the body of the paragraph, and this is where you're going to develop your idea. You're not just listing facts here, but you're also explaining how your facts and details support the idea that you named in your topic sentence. And then you're going to end with a conclusion or a transition. This is the final sentence of your paragraph. If it's the only paragraph you're writing for your project, then the sentence needs to restate the topic sentence's idea. If it's part of a longer essay, then it should wrap up the idea of the paragraph and foreshadow what's coming next so that your paper's tying all together. And this brings us to the traits of a well-composed paragraph. You can have all 3 of the elements in it and still not have a great paragraph. What you need for a great paragraph is, first and foremost, clarity. You need to clearly name and explain your idea. You also need to use vivid, precise language. Good writing isn't boring and clinical. It shouldn't read like a textbook or a dictionary. It needs to be captivating, interesting. So use descriptive words accurately to make writing lively and interesting. And you also need sentence fluency and variety. This is why you needed to know your sentence types. All of your sentences need to fit together like the pieces of a puzzle. So using those different types of sentences will help keep your writing interesting and build a sort of rhythm into your words that makes it sound really, really good. Here's an example. This sentence has 5 words. Here are 5 more words. 5-word sentences are fine, but several together become monotonous. Listen to what is happening. The writing is getting boring. The sound of it drones. It's like a stuck record. The ear demands some variety. Now listen. I vary the sentence length and I create music. Music. The writing sings. It has a pleasant rhythm and a lilt, a harmony. I use short sentences, and I use sentences of medium length. And sometimes when I'm certain the reader is rested, I will engage him with a sentence of considerable length, a sentence that burns with energy and builds with all the impetus of a crescendo, the rolls of the drums, the crash of the cymbals, sounds that say, listen to this, it is important. This is from Gary Provost, 100 Ways to Improve Your Writing. For practice, I would like you to write a paragraph about what you've learned in this lesson. Include all 3 parts of this paragraph and try to demonstrate all 3 traits of a well-composed paragraph. As a hint, your well-composed paragraph should look more like this bottom one. Should sound more like it. Here's the key from our practice earlier. Sentence number 1 was simple. Sentence number 2 was compound. Sentence number 3 is simple. 4 is complex, and 5 is compound complex. If you missed any and have any questions about that, be sure to write those down in your note. Also go back and look at the definitions and see if you can figure out where you took a wrong turn. To basically sum up, paragraphs express and develop ideas. To do this well, they have to have all 3 parts of a paragraph and still be clear and interesting.